nothing changes.
Okay, as promised today, guys, on Sunday, April the 11th, 2021, video number 2. Part of what I do on this channel, beyond just showing you guys what items you can buy and sell and how to use platforms to make money, whether it's a side hustle, part-time or full-time, is to tell you the news of the platforms that all of us here use to sell on. I put up a video earlier for news about eBay. Today, in this second video, it's a news story about Amazon. You guys have probably heard about it. Amazon in Alabama, workers in Alabama, pushed to do a vote for unionization. If you're not familiar with what a union is for a large company, do your research, Google and look it up. But basically, unions are formed to protect the workers. You pay a union due every year, set of union dues, and they fight for you. They fight for your rights, your breaks, your pay rate, and your pay raises, your wages. They fight for break times. They fight for all this different, fair treatment of things. Unions can be good. A lot of people don't like unions. I don't understand them completely, to be fairly honest with you. I understand why they exist. I understand what they do and how they do it. I just don't know how a private corporation, will have to accept it, which is why, being a publicly traded company like Amazon, under the legal pressures, if a union is voted for, they don't have a lot of choice. But in this case, Alabama workers voted for the union over this couple days ago, 2 days ago. It wasn't yesterday, I think it was Friday, and they lost. They only got 16% of the vote. They didn't get a majority, so there will be no union in Alabama Amazon warehouses or for workers. Now, the two big reasons were we saw a lot of complaints from Amazon workers that were like, oh, Amazon expects us to process like 200 boxes a second, blah, blah, blah. It's just not fair. We don't have time to go to the bathroom. And you guys saw there were stories about employees having to urinate in bottles because to walk to the bathroom at the other side of the warehouse was like a 5-minute walk. They had to go 5 minutes there and 5 minutes back and 5 minutes for a bathroom break. And it would take them 15 minutes, but they only had a 10-minute break, and so they didn't have enough time to actually do what they needed to do, to get a Gatorade or a candy bar or something. It was just like bad working conditions. This was highly reported, supposedly, these were alleged bad working conditions. Amazon denied it, but there were some forms of evidence, videos and documentation of it actually happening. So they wanted to get protected from that. They also wanted to protect their pay and their yearly pay raises, but Amazon actually does $15 an hour minimum wage, which is now the federal minimum wage. But Amazon was already doing that, which is double the Alabama state minimum wage at the time, which was like $7.45 or 65 cents. They were already at $15. So the amount of pay and the amount of benefits and protections that Amazon was already giving was actually better for the people that wanted the union. And I think that's why they only received 16% of the vote, because I think a lot of people use their brain and realize like, hey, we got it pretty good here, right? Like Amazon pays pretty good. I got a great job. $15 an hour is only, was that $630,000 a year, give or take, 28, 30,000. Somebody help me with the math there. I think it's like 30. So 600 a week, 30. It's actually like 31,000. So yeah, it's not great money making $15 an hour, but it's also, above minimum wage. It's above the poverty line technically, and if you have two people working, one with 30,000 and somebody else making 30 or 40, you guys can make it. It's a job. It's better than a lot of people have right now. And Amazon didn't shut down during the pandemic. They actually grew and blossomed. They did $386 billion in revenue. So not a bad gig to have an Amazon job. I'm not saying it's awesome, but I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world either. So I'm not surprised that the union got voted out. What I want to do is take you guys over and show you the news story. And are any of you guys watching this channel a part of a job, or have you ever been a part of a job that had a union or voted for a union or against a union? Can you put in the comment section below how it worked for you, what the ups and downs, plus and minus, pro and cons were, and what you think about unions? Because I'd love to hear more. I don't have experience with them, obviously, so that is something I'd love to educate myself more on, and I'll read a lot of your comments down below. So let's jump over to my screen and check out the review and the breakdown of this Amazon union vote. Also, we want to thank sponsors of this channel, affiliates, as always. Mark II from Not Your Dad CPA. He's a licensed CPA and a reseller. He knows how to do taxes taxes for resellers. He knows how to show you how to track your numbers and get ready for your taxes. He will not actually physically file your taxes for you, but he will get you ready to do it yourself. He has a fantastic Reseller Tax Academy. Taxes are due normally in 4 days, which would be the 15th, but they backed it out to May 17th, which falls on a Monday. So you still have time to get Mark's help. And if you use code Rockstar, you will receive $50 off his Tax Academy. I will link a video that I did with Mark down below that you can watch, and then I'll link his website below that you can go read more about his Tax Academy and his tax help, and use the code Rockstar for $50 off if you decide to sign up for Mark's Tax Academy. So thank you, Mark, too, from Not Your Dad's CPA, for all that you do for the community and for being an affiliate sponsor of this channel. Let's go check out the unionization vote story. In from the New York Times, and Amazon workers vote down union drive at Alabama warehouse. The company's decisive victory deals a crushing blow to organized labor, which had hoped the time is ripe to start making inroads. So this is from Karen Weiss and Michael Corkery at the New York Times from April 9th, 2021. So this was on Friday that the vote came down. Amazon workers at a giant warehouse in Alabama voted decisively against forming a union on Friday, squashing the most significant organizing drive in the internet giant's history and dealing a crushing blow to labor and Democrats when conditions appeared ripe for them to make advances. Workers cast 1,798 votes against a union, giving Amazon enough to empathetically defeat the effort. Ballots in favor of a union trailed at 738, fewer than 30% of the votes tallied, according to federal officials. I saw 16 to 20% from other sites, so somewhere less than a third. The lopsided outcome at the 6,000 person warehouse in Bessemer, Alabama, came even as the pandemic's effect on the economy and the election of a pro-labor president had made the country more aware of the plight of essential workers. Amazon, which has repeatedly quashed labor activism, had appeared vulnerable as it faced increasing scrutiny in Washington and around the world for its market power and influence. President Biden signaled support for the union effort, as did Senator Bernie Sanders, the Vermont Independent. The pandemic, which drove millions of people to shop online, also raised questions about Amazon's ability to keep those employees safe. Another subject that came out about employees that tested positive for COVID because they had to continue going to the warehouse. In an aggressive campaign, the company argued that its workers had access to rewarding jobs without needing to involve a union. The victory leaves Amazon free to handle employees on its own terms, as it has gone on a hiring spree and it's expanded its workforce to more than 1.3 million people. That's an insane. They are second largest employee company behind Walmart, I believe, and I think they passed Walmart, or they're going to pass Walmart. Somebody can fact check that, but they are really close, if not already past Walmart. A professor at the University of Washington, Margaret O'Mara, researches the history of technology companies, said Amazon's message that it offered good jobs with good wages had prevailed over the criticisms by union and its supporters. The outcome, she said, reads as a vindication. She added that while it was just one warehouse, the election had garnered so much attention to become a bellwether. Amazon's victory was likely to cause organized labor to think maybe this isn't worth trying in other places. So they definitely will have that effect, no doubt about it. So you scroll down and Amazon said the union will say that Amazon won this election because we intimidated employees, but that's not true. Amazon didn't win. Our employees made the choice to vote against joining a union. About half of the 5,876 eligible voters at the warehouse cast votes in the election. A majority of votes, or 1,521, was needed to win. About 500 ballots were contested, largely by Amazon. The union said those ballots were not counted. If a union had been voted through, it would have been the first for Amazon workers in the United States. Even if the 500 contested votes had been counted and given all to the union, they would have been still short 1,238, needing 1,521. So there was no chance they were going to win. The union had failed. Two of the workers said that the union failed to convince them how it could improve their working conditions. Amazon already provides good benefits, relatively high pay that starts at $15 an hour, and opportunities to advance. The couple, William and is it Lavinette Stokes, they have 5 children. It's the only job I know where they pay your health insurance from day one. She's 52 years old. She added that she had been turned off by how organizers tried to cast the union drive as an extension of the Black Lives Matter movement because most of the workers are black. This was not an African-American issue, said Ms. Stokes, who is black. I feel you can work comfortably without being harassed. So she's saying not at all a race issue there. A news conference organized by Amazon on Friday, Mr. Stokes and other workers said they had concerns that they wanted the company to address, like better training and anti-bias coaching for managers. We just feel like we can do it without the union. He said, why pay the union when we can do it ourselves? He's absolutely right. I've never understood the union, again. So anyways, I'll link this story, and you guys can leave it in the comment section below what you think about Amazon and the union, about the union failing, and about Amazon's treatment of their employees. As always, I appreciate you guys watching this, whether it's about reselling, about profit, or about the news around the platforms that we all use and around the world that we all live in. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to this channel with the notifications on, so that you don't miss any important updates, news, videos, or items that you should be buying and selling for profit. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys later this week.